Welcome to More Than Just a Girl, the podcast where we talk about incredible stories like yours of women breaking those glass ceilings the way you're breaking them and looking beautiful while you do it, I must say. Thank you for joining us. You're such a dynamic character. You are a musician.
Yes.
You are studying international business and you're a content creator, correct?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is IZY?
Well, I was actually born in Jamaica.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And when I was 2 years old, that's when I moved to Belize, and I've been living here ever since until I went to school, of course. But I just always liked doing music. My whole family is musical, so it's just something I grew up with.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what it is to be a musician and content creator in Taiwan. I know you are pretty brown skin gal.
Yes.
And Taiwan is just so different for us. So what is that experience like?
It's new, it's different, but I feel like I actually experience more music stuff in Taiwan because they're all about foreigners and making them have a little spotlight, you know. So it's like easy to just get into it over there.
You say you do concerts there, yes?
Yes.
So you do more concerts there than here, I would imagine. What's that experience like? I mean, the type of music.
Yeah, they definitely they don't listen to Caribbean music like that over there.
Okay.
So sometimes when I'm singing my songs, I know they don't understand.
But they're vibing.
You know, they're vibing. It's just a vibe. Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about how you got into music? What brought up this passion?
Well, okay, my grandparents, they always have this rule. All the grandchildren need to be able to play an instrument. And my grandpa, my grandma, my auntie and uncle, they all are musicians. And all of my siblings, we play music, well, instruments. And I just always been singing, you know, and watching Hannah Montana. I was like, I want to be
Like, who did Hannah Montana? Exactly. Or because I sing like a frog, but like, you know, you have to love Hannah Montana. In Taiwan, that life, I believe, is a culture shock. What is the biggest culture shock for you living there?
There's a lot, but the one that bothered me the most was that you see when we get breaks here, like Monday we're like, oh no school Monday, no work Monday, we'll have a long weekend holiday. Even if the government over there gives you holiday for like Monday, you still have to go back and make up the day that they gave you. Saturday. So if we say no school Monday, we still have to go to school on Saturday. It's a month. It's not better.
No, that's culture shock. We enjoy it 3 days at a time, right?
You know what?
Yes, we have at least 13, but yeah, right? And I love each and every one of them. All right. How has Taiwan influenced your music? Or has it influenced your music in adult?
Definitely. It's just different. Like over here, it's more the Caribbean and stuff. And over there, it's like pop music, rap music, and everything is like a whole mix of different languages. So that's what I want to try. Like along with more people that speak Chinese, Spanish, like everything.
Okay. Taiwan is into a lot of K-pop, right? They listen to this K-pop. And your music isn't K-pop. Actually, your music is just, I can't say it's fully Caribbean. I can't say it's fully Belizean. It's just IZY. I mean, I listen to your music and you just vibe to it. You don't, and like you have said once, everybody feels something different with your music. So I know you have 2 songs that I know about. And one of them is, I think, Touch Me.
Yeah.
I know I got something completely different from Touch Me than what you may have been trying to portray. Yeah.
Like, what do you think, y'all?
So when I was thinking about not, you know, it's like not anybody can touch me. Like I was thinking as a woman being in a situation where you can't touch this, you know, that little saying that we used to have. Well, I'm older than you by far, maybe WRD. So, like, you know, we used to have can't touch this. So I thought touch me was like, it's not anybody that I'm allowed to touch me. Not emotionally, not spiritually. You just can't reach to my standard or listen to my standard.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if that's what you were, but that's why we just fell in love with that, thinking that it was such a uplifting beat about you're not ready for me.
That's what I was saying for you.
Okay, because they did a good job at that, because that's what my 40-plus-year-old self understood. You told me that you like to encourage people to be their authentic self. I look at you and I see a new you every time I look at you, right? And Izzy is always different. She's never the same person one day as she was yesterday. Yesterday, she was having a nervous breakdown. Today, she's on top of the world. So, how do you feel about being uncomfortable? How do you make that change? You say you like to try to make being uncomfortable comfortable, right? So how do you do that? Because I see you're comfortable even in your lowest moment.
Yes, it's just, you just have to accept that life is full of ups and downs, you know, and you can't make fear stop you. That's what I always tell myself. I'm just saying, listen, I can't make me being scared not make me do something that could lead to something good, you know? So that's just what I think.
I tell you, I look at you and I wish that a lot more young girls would have your vibe and your spirit. Because one day I look at your content and like, is it so sad today? She's not feeling it. Like Taiwan wasn't doing it for her today. And then 5 minutes later, I scroll up and I see, no, Izzy got dressed. She's ready to rule the world. And whoever gets in her way, you may want to move. So I look at that and I look at you and I feel that it's such inspirational content that some people might not really get it. But when I look at it, I'm like, if I had a daughter, I have 3 boys. But if I had a daughter, I'd want her to have that confidence, you know, that you get up and you have your own style and your own way of dealing with things. And I think that's amazing. So I really applaud that in you. Do you share a little bit about your philosophy for us, about how you use your everyday life and struggles to create your content, your music, to get by on school? How do you manage that? Because you're alone in Taiwan, right?
It's not easy to manage, but I mostly go off of how I feel in the moment. So if I feel like I'm doing too much and I feel stressed out and thing, it's not really easy for me to make music, make content, and be in front of the camera all the time and going to school too and focusing in class. But when I feel a little, like a little good, happy vibes, then that's when I really feel like, okay, let me write a song. Okay, you know, like, let's go to school and just up today and just participate in class, I guess.
All right. So I could imagine that in this, especially with this social media age that we are in now, it's easy to get criticized. It's easy to get pressured to be something that you're not, to buy the brands, fall into certain stereotypes. But I see that you don't conform to any of that. How is it that you manage to stay true to yourself and not conform fully to any of these?
It's hard. It's hard. It's easy to. One time I was trying to be mysterious. I'm just not a mysterious person. But it's mostly my support system. Because when I feel like I'm doing something that is not really me, but I want to do it, I call my dad and it's like, Dad, what do you think about this? And then I call with my friends because they know me, you know, and they really supportive and they know what I really want and I know what I really want. So at the end of the day, if I feel like this is not right, it's not right. Yeah.
Okay, so you stick to your gut basically. When it comes to the music industry, you're studying international business and content creation, music. Does your study in any way affect your music or your music affect your studying, you know, vice versa? Is it, how is that balance? How do you manage to balance that?
Sometimes I can't. The first year in Taiwan when I was just settling in, I had to take a break from music for a little, like almost for like the whole year. Because it was too much. I had to go to school, learn the new ways of Taiwan and all of that. But it just depends. I really have to be very scheduled with it and prioritize what's important. So sometimes I have to say, you know what, I have to put this music on pause and focus on my grade. Okay, that's what I was there for anyway. So
yeah. Okay. Studying international business, what is your goal with that?
Cool. It was going to be a business, in the business field. I always love business. And my following, you know, we help a lot of businesses that need managing to look at it. It's like, I'm going to do it. Well, that's anyway, though.
All right. So you have something to come back to. So you're working towards the family goal. Yeah.
I feel like you could do both, music and of course.
Well, you're doing both. So you're proving and they're succeeding at both. So you're doing both. So that's the awesome thing. We'll get into a little bit more of, I know it's fun and games, it sounds like, for the most part, but in the music industry, I'll tap into that a little bit more, because I know as women, music has not been very easy for women to excel in. And women that have excelled in music, I mean, you listen to documentaries of rap artists and they've had a rough journey. And I guess you, like you say, you have a support team, but what is it like being a female artist? I imagine you have unique challenges. They say sex sells, but sometimes I always want be sexy. So how do you navigate that?
Well, for that, I don't know, it's really hard. Like, sometimes, let's say I will go on stage, right? And as a female, you have to be perfect. You have to be better than the rest, because they just expect more from females. So sometimes I go on stage and I see how people watch me, not just like supporters or like people that just came in. They're like, even managers and people that are like looking to be your boss in the future to hire you, they will watch you like with this weird look in their eyes. I don't know how to explain it. Like, they just want, like, you're an object, you're a product, I would say. Like, I want to sell you. Like, sometimes I'm scared that I'm performing and I see people watching me with this like emo look. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I just have to get used to that, I guess. It just depends on safety. I feel like that's the biggest.
That's because like I say, I look at you so young and pretty. Like, you're extremely pretty. I'm a woman and I can say it, but you're very pretty. You're even prettier in person than when I look at you on your social media. But I look at it, you're young, you're pretty, you're in a foreign country, you're alone. I would be scared. But you're not. You go and you deal with it. And yes, I see you have your little fan crowd too, your friends, your friends are there for you. And I always believe that having friends is very important. We can get there alone, but we get there stronger together, right? So now I know there are certain expectations of female artists that differ from those of male artists. A man is hired to come and sing and do his performance, and he goes. Now with the woman, I know they expect sometimes something different. Has that ever happened to you? Like, they insinuate a little?
Definitely. Especially when I first went, they said this song new, so they didn't really know like who's sketchy and who's not. So people would be thinking, like, hey, come over, we're gonna work on the song. I'm just like 10 o'clock at night. They're saying, yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're aware of your situations and you keep yourself away from them a little bit. You basically set your own values as a woman and you set limits. Have you ever had to, in Creole, break somebody?
I don't know with it. Some people just feel too privileged, too entitled, and you have to put them in their place. Like, I'm not the one from this.
All right. So walk us a little bit through your creative process. How do you cultivate and create your music? What is that like? Is it writing a song? Give us a little of that.
It's all based on my vibe. So if I feel sad, I'm over there. Sorry. Or if I'm happy, I was there. I'm sorry. So I'll just go with my vibe, look for a beat, because I like to do it like that. Look for a little beat, listen to them, and I was like, okay, I just mumble. I was like, how? Like, I wasn't kidding. Like, for my type, I was like, I had no words. I just, and I went back and I was like, oh, and then all of it comes to me, and I just write how I feel. Like, I just tell a story. And I was like, this is fire.
Like Salvation, that's fire.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us, what was the inspiration for Salvation?
This is not in my first year in college. It was just it was different. I feel like I was so shocked, going from like little innocent, not knowing the world, and then going out there in college and see everybody out crazy. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then you just go through that little phase where you're going from a teenager to a young adult. It's like you're just doing everything you want to try, everything, because it's a whole new world, and sometimes it's not that good. Just slow down a little bit.
Everybody, Belizeans and abroad, what is that like? Are you getting good response with your music so far?
I love being in the news. It reminds me, like, I love a little army, a little felon. Because yesterday I was at the store and a random one just came up to me like, how the hell are you going to do your thing, be yourself?
Right. That's awesome. Well, I know more and more Belizeans are getting to know about you. I wish more knew about you. I listen to your music, and like I said, I'm obsessed with you. In a good way. Yes, in a good way. I really look up to, and I'm happy when I see young girls, young women doing positive things with their life. I mean, there is more to it than just fashion and beauty. I mean, I know women are beautiful beings in every which way, but a lot of the times women get distracted by trying to get what they want and doing whatever society dictates of us, and it sometimes blurs our lines. But I'm glad that I look at you and I feel so happy. I never met you in person until today, but I feel so happy when I look at persons like yourself doing a thing both locally and abroad. And I said, you know what, this more girls need to look at this and see that it is possible to be your authentic self. Like I say, authentically easy, right? When you're doing your music, like you say, in Belize, you've seen that you have a little recognition abroad. You know they might not understand what you're singing, but they're vibing. Do you feel any pressure to represent Belize when you're performing?
I would say pressure, because I want to, let people know where I'm from. I want to let everyone know that it's not really like pressure. If I don't want to say it, I don't want to say it. Like I always say before I start performing, I'm just say, hey everyone, I'm from a country named Belize. And everyone's like, where's that? Like, I don't know.
Have you ever encountered situations where, as a woman, you feel that because you're a woman or because you're pretty, or you're judged differently or more critically whenever you do any of your work, whether it be school or when you're performing?
Yes. Like with the performing part, sometimes they would want to like cut my set. They'll be like, oh, she's new, she's a girl, she's gonna have stage fright. And they'll be like, instead of doing the whole show, you put only do one song before they even see me perform ever. And then in school, I guess the teachers over there, I noticed some of them are nicer to males for some reason. I don't know why. But
The stigma still exists we still have a long way to go.
yeah.
Unfortunately, we still have a long way to go. But I believe that little things like this that we're doing today, where we're getting the vibe out there that women can do anything, I think that will help us to continue this battle that we've been fighting for 100 plus years. So one day, instead of saying a female artist or a female musician, to be able to say just Izzy, just the artist. No, you say, you say a female engineer, a female artist. I want them to just say an engineer, an artist. We're all equal. Let's get there one day. So I'm hoping that things like this, people like yourself, help to continue breaking down those barriers so that we could get there one day. When it comes to industry standards in music, I know you look at the music, and no matter how good somebody's music is, you see a lot of like I said earlier, sex sells. Do you feel that the industry tries to sell you as a sex object more than your actual music?
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes, mostly when I'm performing, like, I notice people expect you to dress away, like a certain type of way, like showing a lot of skin, short type of thing. And versus the response I get with that versus when I'm just wearing like normal clothes or covered up clothes, they're just gonna be like, oh, like you sound good, but what happened to your outfit? Like what do you mean? What's wrong with my outfit?
Clean.
Usually
All right. So how do you navigate that double standard? Where no matter how good your music is, you still have to try to look a certain way.
I just try to. I want to say the best. What the best self act would be. I don't try. Everything has to be perfect. I practice a lot. I just try. I don't know. I change what I want to do because of what people are telling me to wear and say and stuff like that. If I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. But I definitely want them to know that I don't need to be naked or like sing about a certain type of thing just good music because I could hear about that.
So, future goals. Tell us a little bit about what, as an artist in your studies in business, what are some of your future goals?
My future goals, I definitely want to start a small business. That's what I want to do that in like the next couple of years coming up. And I also want to do something to help Belize in general, people that need help with different things, especially young females. I don't know exactly what yet. I always, every day I change my mind, I want to do something else. It's always just confusing for me, but I definitely want to start a business. That's the one that I'm really focusing on right now. I can't say what it is though. I don't want to say it.
Not yet, not yet. In music, do you have any upcoming projects or collaborations that you can tell us about?
Yes. I have a song. Okay, I'm not gonna say the name of the person, but it's a Orange Walk artist. He's from Orange Walk, and he hasn't released any music yet.
Okay.
But he works at the studio that I usually record at, and he is amazing. You guys are gonna love him. When he releases music, you guys are gonna love him. But we're making a song together. So I just want to work at different districts, you know. Get the IZY M around.
Oh, all right, that's awesome. I guess IZY is, like I said, authentically IZY. But what advice would you give young girls or even older women who would want to pursue music as a career? I mean, we have a lot of female entrepreneurs. The business part that is a part of business, but music is a business. It is an industry on a whole. But I know it's not a common industry for women to be in. It's more male dominated. So what advice would you want to give the young girls who want to aspire to be the next IZY M?
So first, that's what want to be the next you. That is right. But definitely don't let fear stop you. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm too scared. What if people judge me?" Okay, so just do it. Don't wait until the time is perfect, because time will never be perfect. You just have to start, no matter if you don't have all the equipment you want. You could build up to it. So just trust yourself. Like, you don't even need to know what you really want to do in the beginning. You could just figure it out as you go along, but just start. Okay, is it one day or day one?
That's the next episode, speaking to hearing your chill vibes. Like I said, I can't say it enough. I am so proud of what I see when I look at you without even knowing you personally. But I'm the type of person that I'm proud to know that Belizeans are doing stuff out there. You know, Belizeans are rocking it. And when Belizean women are killing it, I'm even happier. You have proven that you are more than just a girl. Thank you so much for being on the show. And I hope that some girls out there are inspired by you as much as I believe that you can inspire a lot of girls. Yeah. And boys can be inspired too. You never know.